Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Outgrow's Marketer of the Month. I'm your host, Dr. Saksham Sharda. I'm the creative director at outgrow.co. And for this month, we're going to interview Alex Nikolaev, who is a freelance advertising expert. Thanks for joining us, Alex.
My pleasure.
So, Alex, we're going to start with a rapid fire round just to break the ice. You get three passes. In case you don't want to answer the question, you can just say pass, but try to keep your answers to one word or one sentence only, okay?
Okay.
All right, so the first one. At what age do you want to retire?
40.
How do you relax?
Hang out with my family.
A fruit you can eat any time of the day.
Banana.
What historical event do you wish you could have witnessed?
Ooh. Well, let's say the Titanic release.
Okay. A film that can be seen several times without becoming boring.
Ah, Back to the Future.
What are you most likely to be arrested for?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Um, Probably I don't know, being too formal.
Hmm.
Yeah.
A habit of yours that you hate.
Procrastination
Work from home or work from office.
from home.
How many hours of sleep can you survive on?
The minimum I can survive on is 5 to 6.
How many cups of coffee do you drink per day?
Ooh, half half a cup.
Your favorite Netflix show?
Um, Netflix originally mean or just the one that streams on Netflix?
Streams works as well.
Well, Friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
Most valuable skill you've learned in life?
Communication.
How long does it take you to get ready in the mornings?
Instantly.
The city in which the best kiss of your life happened?
The city of Nikolaev, my hometown.
Okay. And so that was the end of the rapid fire
All
round. You
right.
did quite well. You actually managed to answer everything quite fast. So that was great. Now, moving on to the long form questions. The first one is: as a paid search specialist, do you think your ability to visualize the funnel with searches has helped you understand the marketing side of things?
I do think so. Yeah, yeah, definitely. Thing is, with freelancers or marketing agencies or marketing experts, this is something. I mean, visualizing the funnel and understanding the business. This is something that gets overlooked and ignored very often, a lot more often than it should be, and definitely keeping that in mind, and not just visualizing it initially, but making sure that it sticks around and stays with you as you progress with the project and work with the client on and on. um, Having that picture in front of you uh, during the thought process is definitely it's priceless. It's something that should always be in the background, and that should always stay with us. Otherwise, things may just not work out well with the project. Yeah, absolutely. And uh, thing is, with as I've said, with the agencies, this is something that gets overlooked, and I have witnessed this happen all the time. Thing is that with many of my clients who approach me, they've worked with other freelancers or agencies or experts in the past, either on that same project or on something else. And from the contacts that I get or from how they share their experience, I can tell that this is a hugely common thing in the industry. The experts really should not overlook that, if at least if they want to be considered an expert. So yeah, visualizing the funnel and understanding the business uh, is a priceless thing. Yeah.
And why do you think people tend to overlook visualizing the funnel in the first place?
Well, yeah, it's actually it's an easy mistake to make, because with freelancers and agencies, not only that, I mean, with in-house employees, people are always in a hurry. I mean, they don't invest a lot into the initial research, and they just want to get things done and as soon as possible. And in many cases, the clients rush them or the management rushes them, and they just want to start implementing the campaigns as soon as possible, right away, initially. However, in my approach, in my opinion, we should always start with the initial research. We should get to know the business better, the client better, the competitive environment, the advantages, the competitive advantages that the client's project or product has, and only then, after that, when we complete this initial uh, get to know the project stage, only then it's possible and it makes sense to start working on the setup itself.
This is kind of related to the next question, which is capturing user intent and doing so efficiently will always be challenging and different for every business. So, to what extent do you agree or disagree with this statement?
Yeah, I completely agree. This is actually very much connected with the points that I've just made. Um, the user intent is one of the things, the crucial things that unfolds during this initial research stage that I've mentioned, and it's highly important to get this part right, the user intent, because everything else in your setup, I mean, the advertising campaign, the landing pages, everything may be perfect, it may be like flawless, but if user intent is something that you don't get right, everything else is ruined. I mean, all of the effort that you've invested, the costs that the client has invested, it doesn't matter any longer because the user intent is just not there. It's not right. For example, with the search campaigns like on Google Ads, the keywords is what the targeted keywords is what reflects the user intent. And if you don't get the user intent right, you get wrong keywords, then that means the budget and the ad spend just goes to waste. The traffic is not relevant, and the whole project, the whole advertising campaign just becomes absolutely useless. So yeah, the user intent um, is just crucial, of course.
So, what's a good way of going about capturing user intent?
Well, yeah, capturing the user intent is what becomes obvious to you. Well, at least to me, with my approach, I cannot say for everyone, but with my approach, the user intent becomes obvious whenever I spend enough time on the initial research. Whenever I understand the client's business correctly. Whenever I communicate with the client on the onboarding stage, so yeah, that's when, you know, building out this whole big picture, the context that surrounds the advertising campaign, is what allows me to get the user intent right.
Hmm. And what do you think? What role will automation, like increasing automation, have to play in all this? Like, does the campaign manager position have a bright or bleak future? Will campaign managers be more relevant than ever, or increasingly they'll become less relevant?
Yeah, well, I get that a lot. That is actually a very popular question. Even my clients ask me this all the time, whether or not my role will become obsolete over time. And in my opinion, it will not. Uh, I mean, the idea and the concept of automation definitely does imply a complete autonomous mode. But in reality, what we see now, that's definitely not the case. I mean, today's stage of this automation evolution definitely does not allow the fully autonomous mode. There's a lot of white spots in the setup that's completely automated. And besides, there's this important aspect with the advertising platforms. Is it's that well, how do you say it politely? By the means of automation, they try to get the advertisers to spend more. I mean, that's a completely normal thing, obviously, for them, because these are the businesses. They want to maximize their profits, and they often do that by the means of tricking the advertisers into spending more. Um, for me, that's not a that's not really a big problem, because as an advertising manager, I can always know where to look for things like this, and it's easy for me to spot these overspending efforts and things that really do not make a lot of sense to the client or their campaigns. So that's what makes the advertising manager role really important now with today's stage of automation. But even if everything is fixed in the future, if the technical issues with the automation and machine learning are addressed, everything is perfect hypothetically. Even in that case, at that stage, I'm pretty sure that the advertising manager role will still be important, because just like in case with the global automation trend and machine learning and robots helping us do their daily tasks, even in that case, it has already become obvious that we do need actual live people uh, to oversee the process, to adjust everything, to understand the logic, and then fine tune these processes. So in that regard, the way I see it, the advertising campaign manager role uh, will still be needed, and we'll still have some work to do even then.
So, what advice would you give to an advertising manager or actually to just clients about conversion rate optimization? Like, what are clients doing wrong and what is often the most successful solution?
Well, there's a lot of things that people do wrong or get wrong about the either the conversion rate optimization or other components of the campaigns. And in fact, that's not really that's not necessarily a bad thing. It doesn't mean that they're stupid or something. It's just that they see it from a different perspective, from their own perspective, and that makes a lot of sense, and that's completely obvious. For example, the owners of the business often want to over communicate, as I call it. Uh, they just fixate on how much information they tell or they deliver about their business, about how they love their clients, about how good they are in their industry, et cetera, et cetera. But in reality, this amount of information and this tone of delivering the information doesn't necessarily make much sense, from the marketing perspective, at least, because clients, let's be honest, clients don't care about how much the provider of the services loves them, or how good this provider thinks he is, or something. The end user only cares about himself or themselves. So how I fix that is I deliver and explain this position to the clients, and together we change the tone, we adjust the landing page content towards making it more um, well more value oriented, value driven, and just shorter in many cases, because again, with the amount of content that that clients tend to place on their landing pages, the landing page just turns into an encyclopedia, which we definitely don't want. Thing with the paid traffic, one of the biggest things of the paid traffic is that these users don't spend a lot of time on landing pages, and we have literally seconds to capture their attention and to deliver the information and to convince these people to convert. And yeah, and speaking of the landing pages, that's also one of the major things that gets often overlooked by the client. I mean, selling the idea of using landing page is not always easy. I mean, the clients think that they've already invested into a website, and they want to use that website in the advertising campaigns, whereas in reality, uh, every advertising campaign needs its own landing page, or even several landing pages optimized for proper segments of traffic, or proper keywords, or proper, I don't know, messaging even in the ads. So yeah, these are probably the major things that I would say the clients get wrong about the conversion rate optimization.
And when it comes to your own work with the clients, what do you think has helped you the most in reaching a top rated freelancer status on Upwork and retaining it for 6 straight years?
I think that definitely communication is one of the biggest game changers to me personally. I mean, although obviously the status that I have on Upwork, it consists of a lot of factors, and it has become possible due to a lot of reasons, like past experiences, qualifications, certifications, etc., skills. But none of that matters if the communication is off. So communicating these ideas, and communicating the right implementations is is what is what has made it possible. And aside from that, the top rated status on Upwork is actually it's a pretty fun thing. I mean, they've implemented it in a very interesting way, and I think this is a very neat thing that they've done. Is that aside from the feedback, the positive feedback that you get from clients, in order to become top rated, or have higher statuses, which I happen to have as well, uh, you also have to be very active in terms of work. So uh, it's not only the feedback, the positive feedback that you get, it's also a required applied implementation of your skills. So you have to be an active freelancer. You have to have active, ongoing projects with clients aside from just the positive feedback.
And how do you plan to deal with change as it's coming along? For instance, with Facebook's plan to expand its monetization policy and provide additional monetization tools on Instagram and Facebook, how are you going to incorporate this in your business? What do you think about it?
Well, the fun thing about these changes is that they're constant. I mean, the major advertising platforms that I work with and that other freelancers work with, Facebook, well, Meta, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, Google ads, they always evolve. They always change something about the either the policies or the ad formats or the technical implementations of tracking. So this is like a boiling pot of constant changes. This is actually what makes it so much fun, among
Mm,
other things. So what I think about these latest changes from Meta is, well, we will adjust. We will see how exactly that will be implemented, because right now these are, well, there's a number of ideas and comments that Meta has provided on how exactly they will implement it, on what will be implemented, etc. But I'm pretty sure that we, as an advertising managers community, will be able to adjust to it just perfectly. And uh, these latest changes that they've announced, they seem to be more focused on the content creators monetizing uh, their efforts, and in that regard, this really does look like something that has already been implemented on the other platforms like YouTube, TikTok, and, well, other possible options. And we've seen how things have unfolded there, especially even from our advertising industry perspective. So we kind of know what to expect in this direction as well. So I'm pretty sure that we'll be able to figure things out and adjust. Absolutely, but yeah, definitely, I like the fact that these platforms evolve and adjust and adapt to how the world around us changes. I mean, we've seen the blooming and booming success of the content creators on different platforms, and obviously these platforms want to integrate advertising and monetization into all of that. It's a good thing that we as advertisers have the ability to be a part of this, and to help clients get some benefits from this whole thing. So yeah, I like it. I like the fact that things are changing and evolving, and I like the fact that I get to be a part of it.
okay, and speaking of hypothetical chains, the
Right.
last question is, what would you be doing if not this in your life right now?
Oh, uh, there's I've actually tried a number of careers in the past before I got to the advertising industry, and the thing that it's actually a big direction that I've enjoyed very much before that was content creation. I used to
Mm,
be a blogger. I used to be an editor in chief of the network of tech blogs. I used to produce content, video content for the tech industry. So yeah, that's something I enjoy. And if not advertising, then I guess I probably would have become a content creator.
okay, all right. So instead of advertising content, you'd be reducing the content.
Well, if you look at it that way, yeah, I guess.
Okay. Well, that was the last question. Thanks everyone for joining us for this month's episode of Outgrow's Market of the Month. That was Alexander Nikolaev, who is a freelance advertising expert. Thanks for joining us, Alex.
Thanks for having me.
And check out his website for more details. The website is, you can pronounce it yourself,
Yeah, yeah,
acuena.agency.
yeah. It's Acuena Agency, Acuena.agency. This is the website that I have for my advertising efforts. Sure.
So check out the website for more details, and we'll see you next month once again with another freelancer of the month.